really excited to be here with you to talk about our MBA launch program. Really am excited that you all have decided to spend part of your day investing in yourself and learning about how this program might help you on your journey to an MBA program, help you achieve your goals and your dreams as it pertains to an MBA. So thanks so much for joining us today. Really excited to speak with you. My name is Ashley. I'm the director of pre-MBA programs here at Forté. I get to oversee all of our amazing programs that help make the MBA a reality for more candidates. Prior to working at Forté, I spent about 10 years in admissions and recruiting. So my background and the background of my team is also kind of in that recruiting and admission space. So really excited because at Forté, we get the opportunity to help say yes to candidates all the time. So this program is all about helping you put together your best application to business school. If you're new to the work here at Forté, we are all about fueling the future of business, and certainly the MBA is a great way to fuel the future of your professional career as well. There's lots of different reasons why you might be considering an MBA. All of these are valid. You might have your own beyond this list as well. These are just some common ones that we hear. And as you're thinking about what brought you to an MBA, that's also going to inform the type of application that you put together, the types of programs that you look at, the important factors that you'll determine which of the offers that you receive you're going to accept. So with MBALaunch program really is about building a great application to business school, but also about building your authentic application to business school. So it is not about turning you into any sort of MBA applicant, but it is about your story and your journey to the application program. So I invite you as we go through, there's lots of information on our website, but I'm going to try to add some perspective to the different components and things that we address on the website. And as I said, we're here to help build your best application to business school. So we're not here to make, cookie cutter MBA applicants. We're not here to tell you that you all have to go to a certain program or a certain type of program, but really about helping you build your great application. So what are our goals for you? What's the goal of this program? Of course, we'd love for you to gain some confidence in your story and in this process. Oftentimes, launchers tell us that someone telling them that they're able to do it was one of the most impactful things that helped them through the journey. So helping you gain some confidence, knowing that you can do it, cheerleading you along the way to business school. As I said, helping build your best application. So as I said, not here to make identical looking applications to business school, but really helping you build your story, that narrative about what's been happening in your life, why you're interested in an MBA program, and how it's going to help you achieve your goals. We do that through an amazing supportive community. So when you join the launch program, you're joining over 6,000 past participants that have completed this program that are here to cheerlead you on. And that's going to be candidates that you meet also through this program that might one day end up sitting next to you in the classroom or even beyond, sitting next to you in your internship or your job. And so this community is going to serve dividends. Even if you don't end up in an MBA program, you're going to meet hundreds of other candidates from across the globe that are going to have this amazing support system built in. Also, I mentioned earlier, helping you find the business school that's going to be right for you. We do work with over 60 full-time MBA partner programs in the US, Canada, UK, and Europe. And so regardless of where you're looking, there's an opportunity for you to connect with business school partners and find a great school or many schools that are going to be a good fit for you. And finally, help propel you forward, right? We want to help move you towards whatever's next in your journey, and certainly to an MBA program through the application process, but beyond as well. Our hope is that you continue to lift as you climb. And so this is about helping you on your journey to what's next, but then also empowering you to connect and support the next generation of candidates as they go through this process. So the MBA Launch Program provides, of course, application prep. One of the main things we do through the program is actually help you understand the different components of the application, help you understand what admissions committees are looking for, informing you, trying to break down some of the myths and misconceptions about admissions, and also just helping you understand what what's really happening in admissions as well. Also, a great piece is providing accountability. I usually say that MBA launch is kind of like having a personal trainer. So You're still going to be doing the heavy lifting. You're still going to be doing the introspection and the actual work on the application, but you're going to have someone along the way telling you what to do, when to do it, what you should be focusing on throughout the 8-month program. I mentioned also earlier the community piece. Whether you know people that have gone through the application process, whether you have people at work or in your personal life that have gone through an MBA, we're here to provide that community and provide support so that you know that there are others going through this. And that community is also really valuable when you think about your professional career as well. So one of the benefits of doing a program like MBALaunch is you're going to also have the opportunity to expand your professional network. So you'll probably meet people from other places and other industries that you never would have met otherwise. But this program will give you the opportunity to expand that professional network. So even if an MBA ends up being maybe 1 or 2 years in the future, you're going to have that pay dividends in the current term. Maybe as you're looking to change jobs or change functions, get promoted, you're going to have amazing friends and peers as you go through this program. As two incentives for the program, we also have amazing partners that help us deliver content that then provide discounts to launchers, and that's in the form of admissions prep as well as test prep. And then about 40 of our member schools do provide fee waivers to candidates once you complete the program. So that's a nice incentive. It's a good carrot to keep you going, nice ROI on the program. It's not a sole reason to do the program. Certainly the amount of effort you're going to be putting in is definitely sweat equity. But it's a great incentive and a great way for schools to recognize the work that you've done as you've gone through the program. Now, the program is 8 months long. We managed to cover pretty much everything there is to know. Content will be delivered by our team of experts, our school partners, as well as some admissions and test prep consulting partners as well. So you're going to get expert advice from a range of perspectives to give you lots of different opinions on the art and science of admissions and recruiting. Now, you will hear from these partners. Some of them also then are offer discounts to launchers should you want to opt into more paid services. But this is a way for you to get lots of different opinions because admissions is not science. There's not a right or wrong answer to what you do, the types of programs you look at, the decisions you make through the application process. So we definitely like to bring in lots of different opinions. As I said, you'll also hear from school partners as well as a team of experts from us as well. Through the 8 months of the program, it is structured to build upon each module. So one of the first things we're going to have you do is really think about yourself. In some ways, should be a very self-centered process. One of the first things you're going to do is spend a lot of time thinking about who you are, your story, your background, what's important to you, why you're looking at an MBA program. So you're going to have a lot of time to do that basically over the first 2 months of the program. Yes, we'll certainly talk about it in the context of the MBA, but it's also certainly helpful from a professional development standpoint as well. And you're going to get the opportunity to really dive deep into what's important to you as you go through this process. Then once we have that in place, we'll build on that with helping you understand what schools might be a good fit for those goals that you've identified, as well as helping you get some insight on the actual admissions process. So you'll get the chance to interact with many of our member schools through our symposium events, which are half day, either in person or virtual admissions events, where you'll get some insider information, as well as kind of just an understanding of how admissions committees work. And again, building an authentic school list to match the goals that you have. Then we're going to help you with the actual specific components of the application. And the reason we wait to do that is because your letters of recommendation are going to look different depending on the type of person you are, whether you feel like you're a career accelerator, maybe you're moving into a new country, things of that nature. All of those decisions will inform how you put together the different components of the application. So that'll be kind of the next phase as we go through the curriculum. And then other things, we certainly talk about financing your MBA, which is important. So understanding different loan opportunities, how to be competitive for scholarship. And then throughout this, you'll also be having the opportunity to connect with member schools. So that's through exclusive information sessions. That's an opportunity to connect with alumni through alumni advising, alumni meetings, and also get a chance to connect with current students, candidates that have gone through the launch program before. What is it really like on campus? Making those exclusive connections as well. If you've not yet sat for a standardized exam, so if you've not yet sat, for example, the GMAT exam, We also do provide test prep. So this would be an optional piece you do within the program. If you've not yet set for the exam, will help you get ready by certainly providing that level of accountability. That includes discount on some test prep services, as well as some sessions around things like how to understand the differences in the tests that are offered, if you're seeking accommodations, how to balance test prep with life, not get too stressed out, some sessions as well. And then a recommended timeline to take the exam as well. So as I said, if you've not yet sat for the exam, we'll provide that timeline and that accountability. I mentioned earlier, there's an opportunity for you to participate in some symposium events. We do these in person. So if you're interested in meeting in person, we do these in a few cities in person, typically in March, an opportunity for you to connect on a half-day event with our admissions friends. But regardless of where you live, you'll be matched with a peer group that's based on your location. So you'll have the opportunity to be connected with other participants, typically within your city. And so you'll have the opportunity to meet in a small group that might be, 8 of you that'll be connected. And each month there'll be a guided worksheet to go through. So you'll actually have kind of a monthly topic to go through with your peers. And then also being connected with alumni that live in those cities as well. So alumni that will act as advisors to help you with school selection, help you with the different application components, talk about their own journey to and through business schools. And so having the opportunity to connect with alumni to keep you motivated and to provide that kind of one to a small group advising piece throughout the program as well. You can complete this program entirely virtually. There is synchronous programming, meaning there'll be programming that takes place at the same time for everyone. Now, we typically vary the time zones, meaning that you'll have the opportunity, regardless of where you live in the world, to hopefully attend those synchronous sessions. But a big component of this program is finding others as you go through with that level of support. Now, there's not any specific background that you need to have in order to do the launch program, just like there's not a specific background you need to have in order to complete an MBA. But we do have candidates complete this program from all over the globe. And as I said, typically we offer programming in different time zones throughout the year. You don't yet have to have taken the GMAT exam to complete this program. You don't necessarily have to come from a traditional or a non-traditional background, but this is just some general information about the cohort. As I said, typically there's about 600 participants across the globe that will complete this program. And then another great benefit of this diverse network, again, is you're going to be having peers that end up at MBA programs all over the globe with all different types of experiences, and you'll have the opportunity to meet people you certainly would not have otherwise. If you feel like this is a good fit for you, then I'm going to guess the program is in fact a good fit for you. As I said, we welcome candidates from all different backgrounds. There is an application process that you'll need to complete for the launch program. It is a relatively straightforward application. I would say you can probably complete it in about an hour. Most of the information we're going to be asking you is filling in some text box, filling in some short answer data. You'll tell us about what type of MBA program you're potentially interested in. So full-time, part-time, executive, maybe you're still searching. You'll let us know when you think you might want to start an MBA. You'll give us some contact information, so name, email, phone number, things of that nature, as well as some just information on your background. So that'll be where you went to school, what you studied, when you graduated. You'll also be providing your employment information. We will not be reaching out to your employer, so don't worry if you're kind of doing this on the down low. Not a worry there. You'll let us know your LinkedIn URL, and then you'll also provide a link to your resume, which you'll upload to your cloud service of choice, so a Google Drive or Box, something of that nature. Again, just so we can get an idea of your background. And part of why we're asking for your employment information is to get an idea of what the cohort looks like. So when we look at the applications, we'd love to see kind of, do candidates come from a specific industry? So maybe we should have candidate or topics related to that industry. Maybe we see candidates with some employment gaps, so we'll have some content related to having an employment gap. So again, we won't be contacting your employer, but we'd like to take a look. This program is designed for working professionals. So this you do need to be employed. So if you're a current undergraduate student, we actually have some different programming there, but this program is designed to be done while you're working full-time. So this is not a full-time program. This is a design for the lifestyle of someone who's a current working professional. There's also there's also an essay component that can be completed either as a video or a written essay. Video, like, shoot it on your iPhone. You don't need any sort of technology to do a video essay. And or the written option, whichever is going to be easiest for you, whichever you feel is most authentic. The written, I believe, is 500 words or less. The video is 3 minutes or less. So again, really straightforward. This is not an MBA application. This is not an MBA application essay. This is really just you telling us why you're interested in an MBA, why you think MBALaunch would be a good fit, and how you identify with the mission of Forté. So really straightforward essay, and as I said, video or written, whatever is easiest for you. And as I said, you could probably complete this in about an hour. We're not here to be, the grammar gurus. Sorry, that's not one of my many talents. So again, make it well written. Please don't just use ChatGPT to write it. I promise we've already read all those. But just an authentic essay about why you're interested in MBALaunch and why you want an MBA. Our next deadline is, in fact, tomorrow, December 10th. So if you are interested in this program, I highly recommend that you submit in our deadline, December 10th. That will allow you to get a decision before the end of the year, which would be nice. So if one of your goals this year was to maybe take some steps to journey to an MBA program, maybe it was to join an application prep program, you can do that by applying by tomorrow. You will receive a decision back from us on December 19th, which I believe is a Friday. You'll get a decision back from us. You'll have the opportunity to then make a decision about whether you'd like to join the program by January 7th. And then we'll all start together synchronously on February 3rd, which is a Tuesday. There is a $35 application fee for the application. However, since you're here today, there is a discount code for you. So make sure you use the discount code FortéFam26 to get $20 off that application. If you're offered a seat in the cohort, there is a $750 non-refundable enrollment. That program fee is already highly subsidized. There are no scholarships. There's no discounts available for that program fee. Launchers on average, when they report back kind of their average value of the program, usually reported at over $1,000. So many launchers view that they more than got their money back from the program, even outside of application fee waivers. As I mentioned, the program will begin on February 3rd and will run for 8 months from February to September. It is not required that you've taken the test prior to the program. However, we do require that by July, you take at least one standardized exam. It does not have to be your final sitting for the exam, doesn't have to be your final score. We're not going to tell anybody about it, but get you over that hurdle of taking a standardized exam. As I mentioned, there is an incentive for completing this program, and that would be application fee waivers for 2 application cycles. That would be this coming fall as well as the following fall. So you have some flexibility in when you want to start an MBA program. If you're thinking about submitting an application sooner to an MBA program, so maybe you are trying to submit applications in like May to start a program in the fall. Again, this program starts in February. So you would still get some prep in prior to submitting maybe a May application. However, just know that we don't start until February. So you might not get as much prep as you would if you were applying in the fall. The program, as I said, broadly speaking, is designed for candidates applying in fall 26 or fall 27. So that would be starting an MBA program in fall 27 or fall 28. If you decide to push that out farther, of course, that's fine. Your plans might also change and you decide to apply earlier. That's okay too. Totally understandable. I did want to mention that program, it's 8 months long. We do a weekly webinar. So there's a weekly content webinar through those 8 months. Typically it's on Tuesday. Typically it's either, some weeks it's going to be noon Eastern, some weeks it's going to be in the evening. So some weeks you might decide, I'm going to watch the recording. All of those content webinars are recorded. So we encourage you to watch them live so you can ask questions live, because all of our speakers will take live questions. So those content webinars are all synchronous. We would recommend you do them synchronously. However, you can watch them recorded if you'd like. The other sessions that are synchronous, we do a personal branding session that's very interactive. We do breakout sessions. So that's going to be synchronous programming. We offer that at 4 different times across about a 6-week period. And then those symposium events are also synchronous as well. So there's a question, I saw that Q&A, can you share which portions of the program are synchronous? There's no required in-person programming, so there's nothing required that you have to do in person. However, I would say the vast majority of peer groups will meet in person because you're going to be living in the same city, or at least very close to each other. So we usually recommend that you meet in person if you're comfortable with that. The symposiums we offer in, I think, 6 different cities, and then we do some other alumni events at about 5 different cities across North America. It's not, again, not required that you do any in-person programming, though launchers often report out that those in-person events are often some of the most impactful that they've participated in. I do want to let you know if you have any questions about any of the content today, or maybe you are working on your application later and you have a question, definitely reach out to us. I work with 2 amazing colleagues, Sarah and Melissa, featured here in our family photo from the year. We are happy to answer any questions that you might have. So don't hesitate to reach out. Feel free to send us over an email if you want a question, if you want to talk to past participants. We absolutely are happy to connect you if you want to ask some questions about a past launcher. If you have questions, as I said, about the application process or any of the content, please reach out to us. We are happy to chat. I'd be happy to take any questions. I saw one come through in the Q&A, so feel free to drop those in the Q&A if you do have questions. Otherwise, definitely feel free, as we said, to reach out via email. We are always here to help. So I'm going to pause just a minute to see if any other questions come in. But thank you in advance for taking some time to learn about the program today. I would definitely encourage you, if you're interested, go ahead and apply. It's a really straightforward application process. My colleague just dropped the discount code in the chat, FortéFam26, for you to get $20 off that application. As I said, our next deadline is December 10th, and that would allow you to get in that New Year's resolution already done to take a step towards your MBA program. So thank you all so much for joining us today. It was my pleasure to have this chat with you. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to help and would certainly hope to see you at a future event. So thanks everybody for being here today.